Sports Betting is your home for picks, props, and futures for tonight's action. Bettor Sports Betting wants to know what picks you're playing tonight. Tell us in the live chat on YouTube, Twitter, and the Bettor Sports Network app. This is Bettor Sports Betting with Fantasy Alarm's Dan Servodidio.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome in here to the Bettor Sports Betting Show on Bettor Sports Network and Fantasy Alarm. Appreciate everyone joining in here on this Monday. Even though we don't have many live sports going on, we still got a home run derby to talk about and give some betting picks out for you guys. I'm here with Howard Bender on this Monday. What's up, Howard?
What's up, Servo? How you doing?
Doing great, man. We got I love that we both just kind of dove deep and have tons of props and bets out for this home run derby, because if we're going to be watching it, why not just have some money on the line? And it seems like the home run derby gets a lot more betting, betting attention, and especially from ourselves, but just betting attention than the All-Star game, right? I mean, there's not a ton you can bet on with the All-Star game, but the home run derby, there's like a ton of ways you can go.
Yeah, you know what though? I got to be honest with you. Like I've got these here, but I'm not a big bettor at the home run derby. I got to be honest with you. I think all-star games should be banned, and I don't care about the home run derby or the skills competitions or anything. It's stupid.
Wow,
it's absolutely stupid. It's just, and how many times have you seen a guy mess up his swing or come out of the home run derby, with like a. And all of a sudden, like a month later, he's got like a shoulder soreness issue or something like that. I think that the All-Star games in general need to be banned. And I mean, listen, this is, what is it? It's 8 guys who are going to go, with like soft toss pitching. So it's not even, this isn't even like a test of their skill. It's not even like, I mean, they're not, I mean, how fast do you think the ball's moving when it gets thrown to them? 50? 60 miles an hour at the
50
most?
or 60, yeah.
At most? So, I mean, so it's not even a test of your true home run skills like that. I mean, and I don't want to put money on it. I'll tell you where my leans are, but I have to be very honest with everybody. I did not lay a single dollar on the home run derby today. I did not. I'll tell you where I'm leaning and who I like, but I think that this is I think it's dumb. I think it's
See, I'm on the other side of this thing. I think we need more, especially in baseball. We need more skills competitions, dude. Let's throw in like, who could be the most accurate thrower from center field to home. Like how exciting would that be? The home run derby is just the only event that the MLB has. Let's get fastest player to run from home to second or from first to third, that kind of thing. I think that would be exciting. Or first to second, fastest steal base. Let's get, Asturi Ruiz in here to steal second on us.
Right? I mean, there you go. You just said it right there. Asturi Ruiz would be the guy who's probably faster than anybody. They already know who's run the fastest times between the bases. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I see what I mean, listen, I think that the skills competition in hockey is much better than the All-Star game. And I'd rather watch, these knuckleheads throw footballs through a tire, instead of actually the Pro Bowl.
The NBA skills competitions are a lot better than the All-Star game, because the All-Star game, they don't even play defense, just like a up and down, whoever's going to score. And that's been a problem for years. But the skills competition NBA, and they have different ones. It's not like the 3-point contest and slam dunk are awesome, but they also have like the all around skill competition. But yeah, I think they could add a couple more to baseball, make it a little bit more interesting. But I guess I'm on the other side of you, so yeah, we will be going through some picks here. I do have some
crap
money
on everything that you say today.
I do have some money on the line, so I actually am betting a couple of these. So I think there's some spots where you can take advantage of these odds for sure. And let's just kind of preview the field right now. So Pete Alonso is back in the mix here as the 2-time champ, trying to become the first 3-time champ since Ken Griffey Jr. So that's exciting with the whole Seattle angle here. But he is the betting favorite wherever you're looking right now. About plus 310 I'm seeing on DraftKings, or plus 320 now. It's actually moving in the opposite direction, interestingly. Vlad Guerrero Jr. is second in the odds. Yeah, wonder why. That might be a little forecast from me and Howard, not totally backing Pete Alonso here. Vlad Guerrero Jr. is second at plus 370. Julio Rodriguez at plus 450 now, moving a little shorter out there.
The hometown guy's odds are getting better, huh?
The hometown guy. We got Luis Robert at plus 500 on DraftKings, Adolis Garcia plus 700, Mookie Betts plus 1,000, Randy Arozarena at plus 1,100, and then Adley Rutschman at plus 1,700. And we got Britt Flynn chiming in on YouTube chat here saying Mookie with a bunch of exclamation points. I saw a couple of her tweets. Yeah, she's got a couple of tweets recently back in Mookie because he's hot right now and in real life for the Dodgers, hitting a bunch of homers. But yeah, you could hear those odds. He's not totally the favorite in this event, and we'll get to his. He's got a first round matchup against Vlad Guerrero, so that'll be interesting. All right, well, let's. What are your initial thoughts about this whole home run derby field? I mean, surprises of who's in it or who's not. Just initial reactions.
Britt says she's not being a homer. That Mookie Betts is hotter than fish grease.
He is. He comes in probably the hottest of any of these guys.
That phrase doesn't take you by surprise. You've heard that before?
I actually have. Hotter than fish grease. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard it before.
Fish grease it has scalded me before, so yeah, I know how hot it is.
Well, all the more reason to keep it in play then. All right. So thoughts on the field in general. I mean, let me pull it on up here. But I mean, if it's a field of home run hitters, I gotta be honest with you. Where's Jorge Soler? Like, show me the guys who just hit the bombs. Like, show me the guys who are out there. I don't give a shit about their other stats. Oh, sorry, bad word. I don't care about their other stats. I don't care about, their batting average or their strikeout rate. I want to know who the guys are who hit the bombs and are leading. So, Shohei Ohtani should be in this. Where's Matt Olson? Mookie's here. Luis Roberts here. Adolis Garcia's here. There's no Jorge Soler. There's no JD Martinez. There's no Kyle Schwarber. I mean, give me the home run hitters. Where's Rafi Devers? Yeah,
I mean, you got a good point. All the like Pete Alonso and Mookie are like the guy. I mean, and Luis Robert are like top of the home run. Top 5 of the home runs right now in Major League Baseball. But you're right. I mean, so a lot of the big names just aren't in it. And I feel like if someone like Aaron Judge, if he was healthy, he'd be in it, but he's not. Ohtani, I think, just he was in it once and did not. I don't think he got out of the first round. Whoever he lost to that one year, but he obviously just doesn't think he has anything to gain from this. And that's the thing with this home run derby.
Because he's not used to hitting 65-mile-an-hour pitches. Like, throw it into him, then show me something there. Like, Shohei Ohtani would definitely do better that way than this,
Yeah.
You take that ball there.
Well, you mentioned the field, being a little weak. It's like, we just have the certain trends with the home run derby. We got the hometown guy that's usually around in that year. This year it is Julio Rodriguez. We got him in the field. You usually have like a young player. We got Adley Rutschman doing that part this year. You usually have the guy that's won maybe once or twice before, and that's Pete Alonso this year. But the rest of the guys, it's I guess they want to give guys a certain chance to get more exposure. So I do like that aspect. We have some of these like Cuban guys that, the casual baseball fan might not know, Randy Arozarena or Adolis Garcia. and they're given a chance to shine here, launch some homers. You're not a fan of it, though.
I mean, I don't need to leave you hanging like that, Servo. But I mean,
well,
listen, I get why they do it. I understand that. I do. I just don't. I personally don't see any value in it, and maybe that's because I'm looking at this from like an an analyst standpoint, right? Because I sure don't give a crap about it from a betting standpoint. So, I'd rather just go clean out my sock drawer, maybe like go do the dishes or something like that, than to like sit and watch the home run derby. Although I guess we don't have Len Berman calling it anymore, do we? Back. Right? We don't have that going on. So maybe that'll like spare the headache. But
say Len Berman?
Yeah, whoever it was. Who's the guy that was doing
Chris Berman. Len was a
Chris Berman.
WNBC news anchor in New York.
Len Berman was a WNBC news anchor in New York City. Thank you. Thank you very much for that.
All right, let's get into it. So who's your pick to win then? For this home run derby? Here you go.
Dude, give me the hometown kid, right? The best way to not have Pete Alonso break the record, which is owned by, what'd you say, a Seattle Mariner? Ken Griffey Jr. There you go. So boom, give me Julio Rodriguez at plus 450. He's actually, he was at plus 500, which you see over here. But as Dan just gave us the line, it's now plus 450. I just take the hometown kid. He knows the ballpark. Yeah. He knows where he's hitting the ball. Give it to Julio.
You can still get plus 500 on FanDuel and BetMGM.
There it is.
Seeing if you want to go there.
Boom.
Yeah, I if I didn't go with this guy, I probably would go with Julio, but I am going Vlad Guerrero Jr. Plus 370 on DraftKings. It's a plus 350 on FanDuel, BetMGM too. But Vlad, I mean, listen, he's back. Hit a record 91 homers in 2019, but it came up just short to Pete Alonso in that one in the final. He's not having his best home run season, but this is a kind of guy that's he's just made for a derby, kind of like Pete Alonso. He's just, he showed it that year, and I've been waiting for him to get back into the mix here, and this is his first home run derby since that one. And he's just got that swing, that power, the exit velocity to just launch homers, and I think he's going to do it here. He was going against Mookie in the first round, which is, I guess, tough on paper, but I have a pick later. I'm not expecting a great performance from Mookie, so I think he can get past that one. And then, he's got the tough bracket, maybe facing Pete Alonso, but I think he'll get past, the winner of Alonso and Julio. But that was like the winner. It was Julio or
Julio
Vlad.
going up against Pete Alonso in the first round. Even better. There it is. There it is. Sorry, Polar Bear.
That'll be exciting.
Sorry, Mets fans.
I do have some stats to give you because I did some research. I know you didn't maybe take it as seriously, but I got into some.
It's not that I didn't take it seriously. It's just I don't want to bet on this because I think that this is just a stupid event. I don't bet on the hot dog eating contest. Why? Because it's a stupid event. It's like a novelty thing. Yes, I'm comparing the home run derby.
Let's not compare
to the Nathan's hot dog eating contest because it's 100% pointless. And you gotta be the craziest degenerate to be sitting there thinking that like, oh yeah, here we go. I'm gonna put my hard-earned money in on this one.
This is the home run derby is a completely different category than the hot dog eating contest.
Why? Why is it totally different?
Has someone won the home run derby like 15 years in a row?
No.
That's what happens with the hot dog
shelf
eating
life
contest.
For players is obviously less than shelf life for competitive eaters.
Yeah, but you don't have a guy that wins every single year.
Who won it this year? This past year?
The hot dog eating contest?
The home run derby contest.
Last year was Juan Soto.
And who was it the year before that?
It was Pete
Alonso. The year before that?
It was canceled. I did research for this. Why are you doing this?
All right, I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
This is something I actually dove into. So we either way, the stats I wanted to give you for Vlad here while Howard goes in his cocoon. He has the highest hard hit rate of anybody in the home run derby contestants at 56% this year. He's also got the highest average exit velo this year of any of the derby contestants, and the highest max exit velo. These are the kind of stats that you got to look for the derby, and I think that's pointing in Vlad's favor here.
Who's he facing in the first round? Mookie?
He's got Mookie.
Britt Flynn, he got my vote.
Well, on that note, I got to throw this pick out there. I'm going with Mookie Betts, his home run total over on DraftKings under 22.5. And this one, you can look back through history. So, there's no denying Mookie's on a hot streak coming in. He's been awesome. I just think he's the kind of guy that's a lot better real life hitter, as you mentioned, facing pitches that are 90 plus coming in, and he can homer on these. He's a really good hitter in game. I just don't think this setting, this home run derby setting, batting practice is where he's going to be launching a ton of homers. And we've seen this as a trend with some of the smaller guys, of Mookie's frame. Just get a load of the last few, smaller hitters that's been in the derby. Jose Ramirez, smaller guy, had 17 homers in his first round, lost. Alex Bregman had 16 one year, had 15 another year, and lost in both of them. And Javi Baez had 16 in 1 year and lost in the first round. So these smaller guys just don't have, the home run hitting power to kind of match up with them. And he's got Vlad in the first round. I don't see him getting past Vlad to get into his second round and add to that homer total. So I'll take the under 22.5.
In your historical data that you've got rolling here, who is the smallest player to have hit the most home runs in the Derby?
I don't have that.
Well, thanks a lot, dude. You just tell me that you did all this research for it, and then I asked you a very simple question. You just started crapping on small guys in there, so I was like, all right, well, who's the smallest guy who hit the most home runs? And you're like, I don't even know.
It was probably someone back in the steroid era who launched like a bunch.
Adrian Beltre.
Did Dan Uggla ever do the home run?
Right, yeah, there you go. Dan Uggla. That's a good call. All right. Well, I see your Mookie Betts under 22.5 total home runs. And I raise you one total home runs in the first round. I'm taking the over 168.5. Now, I don't know what your research is telling you here. The odds say that it's minus 115 for the over, minus 110, 115 for the under, minus 110 for the over. So I don't know. What are we here for? We're here for home runs. Why would I even remotely bet the under on a home run call for that first round? I think, everybody's kind of, some guys need to get into their groove and kind of figure some shit out until the second round. But overall, to me, I think that, you've got all of these guys here in the first round. Let's get it going. You're in the home run derby. You're not in the bunt single derby. You're not in the, greatest line drive ever derby. So give me a bunch of home runs from these guys over 168.5 at minus 110.
I can get behind that. Well, I'll give you some numbers research. I looked at this prop, and it was the average for the 8 home run hitters to hit would be 21 basically home runs per hitter. So if you have a guy like Mookie or someone else that goes a little bit under, then you can have a guy like Julio Rodriguez or Vlad or Adolis Garcia who goes over it and makes up for it, and more than makes up for it. So I think that over is a good call.
Thank you, Dan.
Plus, you have this year with all the rules, you have the extra time that's added. If you get a longer home run, you get this has been in the case for a few years now, but you get the swing offs if it's tied too. So you get the potential for extra home runs even after the time limit.
Ooh. So what you're saying is if I'm going to go with the total home runs in the first round over, I also need to go with the over of that there will be a swing off.
I don't have the numbers there, but
like
I feel like there has been a swing off.
It's like plus 120, plus 125 or something like that.
And I feel like there's been a swing off in the last couple of derbies. It just kind of sets up that way.
Swing off.
It's basically a stop. It's basically the kind of a toss up. But I think it'd be if you get plus money on the yes, then I'd take that rather than pay for the no there.
So here you go. Over total swing offs. It's a half a swing off. It's plus 115. It's minus 145 on the under. So I mean, if you're looking for some value on that, then you take the over for sure.
Much rather bet on the over there. All right, another pick I like. So you mentioned you like Julio. I like him too. I got him to beat Pete Alonso in the first round. It was earlier today. I'm glad I got this and did indeed bet real money on it. It was plus 145 odds, and it's now moving down because we mentioned some money coming in on Julio here and against Pete Alonso. And it's at plus 120, I think, on that head-to-head matchup for round one. So I still like it there as long as you're getting plus money. Julio, it was the home field guy. I think you can't look past that. The home field advantage of just being comfortable here in Seattle. And if you just look at Pete Alonso, he comes in really cold, hitting 1-7 month, and he's got some homers over this span, but only 4 homers over his last 20 games. And, is this mini slumps? He got hit on the wrist. He got a, bone bruise, missed some time. And since then, he's just been cold. So I think it carries over here. I know he's built and made for this home run derby event, but I just think Julio's going to come in, ride the home crowd here. He almost won it last year. He lost to Juan Soto, but hit 81 homers in the whole event. And one of the, I think the third most ever. I think he's going to be amped to kind of prove himself here to get back to, hopefully the finals and win the whole thing.
I'm considering he's my pick to win. I agree with you on all fronts there. I think that Julio Rodriguez is the guy to bet on. So you're taking him over Pete Alonso. I dig that. On the other side of the brackets, I'm going to go with another little bit of an, kind of an upset special, I guess, because this is like this is my value play to win. And that's plus 1,100 on Randy Arozarena. So there you go. Randy Arozarena to beat Adolis Garcia. Gimme yum. Plus 120 on DK.
Nice. Yeah, and you can see it up here, plus 1,100 to win. Now, he's your value pick.
Yeah, I think he's a tremendous hitter. Really fierce swing. Just good, he gets everything behind it. You watch him swing sometimes. It's not the same batting stance as Gary Sheffield, but it's got like that kind of intensity to it. So yeah, I like a Randy Arozarena to beat Adolis Garcia for plus 120 on DK. And then I've got him going to the finals to take on my man Julio Rodriguez.
Yeah, you're just riding the Julio versus Randy train. I like that. My value pick, you saw it flash up there, Luis Robert at plus 550 to win the whole thing. But I like him to make the finals. I like him in the his over home runs prop too. But I just like the value of him. If you watch him hit, and maybe you don't really watch many White Sox games for people out there, but he's got this like short, compact swing. He doesn't use a ton of body movement, lower body movement or, wild swinger like we see with some other guys. But he's just got this short to the ball swing. I think it's going to be perfect for the home run derby. If he just gets on a roll, it's not going to be using up too much energy. I think he just kind of, just pound homers after homers. So I like that aspect. He comes in hot too. He's one of the, along with Mookie, he's one of these guys that's coming in hot at the plate. 8 homers in his last 15 games and 13 bombs in his last 30. So that is a good sign for him. And he's got arguably the best matchup. All apologies to Adley Rutschman, but he is probably the weakest guy in this Derby field, and Robert at least gets to face him in the first round. So if he gets past that, then he's in that other side of the bracket you mentioned, away from Alonso, Vlad, and Julio. So he just kind of has to get past, whether it's, a Rosarina or a Adolis Garcia.
I think Rutschman's getting a raw deal here. Why are we crapping on Adley Rutschman? He's a power hitting catcher. I mean, he hits for power. He's not, at the top of the heap there, but still, like everybody's just like,
well, here's some
Adley Rutschman.
Here's some stats for
thank
you.
you, Dan.
No catcher has ever won the Derby. So,
well, how many catchers have been in it?
That I don't know, but
I mean, I think that's a very telling story. Then.
Just kind of looking back through, no catcher has won it. So there's Luis Robert. I like him, and so going, just looking to our Diamond Dogs.
Whoa!
Here.
I got
let's
one
get
more
right
bet for you, Servo.
Okay. Well, because we teased both of our picks here, but yeah. All right. So, what do you got? Another pick? I do too.
So why are you rushing into that?
I'm just
longest home run.
I'm just antsy.
Over 490.5 feet. It's plus 120 on DK. I'm sure you've got stats that say that the longest home run has not been more than 489 feet or something like that. But if I'm here for the home runs, I want a lot of them hit, and I want at least one over 500 feet.
So this is where we differ for sure. And yeah, I got to give you some numbers, some stats to back this up. So we got T-Mobile Park here in Seattle, right?
Yeah, it's not
Seattle's
Safeco anymore. Okay.
T-Mobile Park.
I love all the name changes. Shout out to Corporate Greed.
One of the most pitcher friendly parks in baseball. We know this from just betting on baseball every day, but the StatCast park factor metric has Seattle as the lowest park factor in all of baseball over the past 3 seasons. That's taking into account all of offense in general, not just home runs. So you got to factor that in. And this, balls don't carry well in Seattle. You live in the West Coast there, the marine layer kind of effect on it. We'll see if the roof is open or closed. I think if it's open, it might be actually beneficial to hitters, but if it's closed, I think that's a little bit worse. But no home run at this stadium in Seattle has gone over 470 feet since the StatCast area started to track these home runs. So I think that's very telling.
That's for normal pitching. That's for games played, in MLB.
So
it's not accounting for this.
That, and also,
it's not accounting for that.
You're
throwing gimme pitches here,
and that the fact that the Major League Baseball's probably got some juiced baseballs in the mix.
Go figure, really.
Try to get some more home runs here. But either way, I like the under here. I like the under 490.5. Interesting, by the way. So it's on DraftKings. It is at 490. If you like the over, I think you should head over to BetMGM or FanDuel because it's 485 over on those sites.
What are the odds though at 485.5?
They're even. I think it's minus 112 either way. Which I think you could look at. You can make an argument both ways, but I think it's interesting that DraftKings has it higher, and it's juiced to the under. I think it's 490.5 is just a touch too high. If you want to take the over at 485.5, though, but I'll take the under at 490.5. All right, so those are our picks here for the MLB Home Run Derby. I think, we ran through all of them. So let's now, I teased it, but let's now get to our Diamond Dogs for tonight.
I'm rounding up the Diamond Dogs.
Who the are the Diamond Dogs?
It's just a group of people who care, Roy. Not unlike folks at a hip-hop concert whose hands are not in the air.
All right. our big long shot bets for this home run derby. What you got?
I don't know how it's a big long shot, but it's what do I got it for? I've got it for +1. Oh no, plus 1,500. This is my diamond dog here. Yeah. Plus 1,500. The exact final matchup is Randy Arozarena against Julio Rodriguez at plus 1,500. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm settling in. I'm settling in nicely at the hometown team kid wins. And yeah, it goes up against Randy Arozarena because he doesn't need to beat like some big marquee name. Oh, they don't have any big marquee names on the other side. That's right. That's right.
Vlad Guerrero Jr., Pete Alonso.
No, on the other side of the bracket, right? They're on the same bracket side as him.
Yeah. Yep.
He doesn't have to beat both of them. He's only got to beat one of them.
Yeah, on that note, that's why I got Luis Robert. I like him, and I got him paired with Vlad to match up in the final as my diamond dog here, plus 750 on DraftKings. We could see Luis Robert win and beat Vlad, but I'm still good with the plus 750 odds for them just to meet up.
I mean, sure. If you want to lose, Servo, that's the bet to make. No doubt. My bet we know is coming in. Because when I don't bet it and I don't give a crap about it, that's when it hits. That's when it wins. It's when I care about it and I'm like sweating the bet. That's when God.
All I know is I put in a lot more research into this, and all my picks will probably be wrong. And you're gonna nail all these.
I mean, it's pretty tough to just back the favorite, right? I mean, I didn't need any metrics. So I'm just backing the hometown kid. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I'm glad neither of us went with the Pete Alonso angle.
No, F him.
Way, so
stupid Mets. What a garbage team, garbage organization. I can't wait till they just sell off all their assets, and then they're just garbage. Then they're just Brett Beatty and nobody else.
All right, let's switch gears here to some NFL talk. Better. As I know, Howard's probably more excited to talk about some real sports here. Oh wow, look at this graphic. Yeah, NFL awards futures. Wow, we look buttoned up. I don't even know who that's actually. Whose bodies are on our.
So Dan, you are on Eli Manning's body. Excuse me, and Howard, you are a Larry Fitzgerald Jr. Very well dressed there. Very sharp.
All right, you should have left the braids in.
Why'd you put me on Eli?
Should have left the braids. Well, you kind of look the picture of your face right there. Kind of looks a little Eli-ish.
It was tough finding two men together in an awards ceremony photo, so it was slim pickings, and it was either that or put one of your faces on a woman's body, and I didn't want to go there. So.
I'd rather have that.
Now I know for the future. Good to know.
If you had to choose between that or Eli Manning,
I mean, listen. What has Eli ever done to the Eagles? I mean, it's not like you're the Patriots. I know you had to deal with him in the division for a while, but
wow,
I don't want to get into it. But you can't say that to an Eagles fan,
right? Just keep crapping on the guy. He's got more rings than your boys do, Servo.
I admit that. Doesn't mean I can't not like him.
That's true. How's Vince Papale doing?
Papale's awesome. All right, let's talk some NFL awards here. And by the way, if you haven't already, go get the Fantasy Alarm Fantasy Football Draft Guide that's now available out there for $26.99. Or if you scan that QR code, you get All-Pro Trial where you get the draft guide for free. Or if you do have that All-Pro subscription, then you get the draft guide for free as well. So, go get the Fantasy Alarm Fantasy Football Draft Guide. We got new articles coming out every day over there at fantasyalarm.com. And let's talk some NFL awards here for the 2023 season. Let's start with the Offensive Player of the Year. The odds, if you look on DraftKings, FanDuel, wherever you're looking, the odds are pretty wide open. No significant favorites. It really is anybody's race here. But when you look at this odds list, who's your best bet to win Offensive Player of the Year, Howard?
I'm going with Jamar Chase. as the as my favorite. I think he is the favorite. I think him and Justin Jefferson are both sitting at like plus 1,000.
Yeah, tied for the betting favorite. Yep.
Yeah, Jamar Chase he's my guy this year. I said it coming into preseason. He was my 1-1 in fantasy. Just a must have. And I think that while everybody's loving on Justin Jefferson, you're also talking about, it's a lesser quarterback in Kirk Cousins. You're also dealing with no Adam Thielen there. So who knows if Jordan Addison really does turn out and perform well. I just feel like everything's kind of lining up for Jamar Chase. So I've got him at plus 1,000. And then, if they're going to give the award to a quarterback, because that's the one who gets it the majority of times, then I'll sprinkle a little something on Pat Mahomes at plus 3,500.
Yeah, I like the Mahomes one. That's also my long shot for that. I don't know why he's listed so low, because he is the betting favorite for MVP at plus 700. And it just kind of doesn't line up when you have he's I don't want to count, but he's far down the odds
on the list.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't know why he's the betting favorite for MVP, but then such a value for offensive player of the year. It doesn't totally make sense. I mean, I guess because he could have maybe not the best statistical season, but the Chiefs are the 1 seed in the AFC. But either way, I think if he's having a good year, he should be up there in the odds. And Jamar Chase, I like that too, because him and Justin Jefferson won it last year, but I looked this up, some more stats for you if you want, some more research. No player since Marshall Faulk in 2000 and 2001 has won back-to-back offensive player of the years. And that's Marshall Faulk on the greatest show on turf. I don't think Jefferson is totally at that caliber right now. So I think I would stay away from betting on Jefferson there. I do like the Chase bet. My best bet is Christian McCaffrey. I'm actually surprised he hasn't won it yet. This award, because he's had some great years, but he was just on some teams that weren't totally, playoff caliber, and was just kind of like the best player on a bad team for years there. But now he's on the Niners. I just think he's going to be fed the ball as a receiver and rusher, especially with their kind of uncertain quarterback situation to start the year. I think that's huge for him, just racking up, total yards, all-purpose yards every game. So I think there's a little bit of value there at plus 1,300 to just be slightly behind like the Jefferson and Chase range there. And then, I mentioned Mahomes is my long shot, just thinking that there's a ton of value there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, did McCaffrey not get the award because he constantly gets hurt? Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's the risk here for sure, because he could he could sit out a few games this season as he seems to do most years. But even when he had those years where he just put up, like almost 3,000 all-purpose yards, he still didn't win it. So I was surprised to see that. I just feel like maybe he's the guy that's kind of bound to win it at some point, but just hasn't.
Okay. All right. Let's go to offensive rookie of the year. Let's kind of maneuver here. Who's your pick?
Offensive rookie of the year. I like for even, I think Bryce Young, CJ Stroud are like kind of the safest bets, but I like Jordan Addison at plus 1,700. I think we talked about this, Howard, a few, maybe a month or two ago. After the draft, and just kind of getting a sense of which rookie landing spots we liked for betting and all that. And I still like Addison going to the Vikings here. He just steps in to an immediate role and sure workload for Adam Thielen's targets there in Minnesota. So I really like the opportunity for him just to be a key contributor for the Vikings right away, especially after they lost Dalvin Cook as well. I just think they're going to be really looking for Addison to pick up slack in this offense. So I like him just to really have a good statistical year at plus 1,700. I like that. And then my long shot, I'm rolling with Jonathan Mingo with the Panthers. I think him and Bryce Young are just going to kind of build a rapport early on. And if they do that kind of the first 3 games, and it's just clear like Mingo is Bryce Young's guy, which may or may not happen. But I think if they build that early on and just kind of throughout the year, we just quietly look up at the end of the year or midway or whatever and see Mingo having a huge year because the Panthers aren't going to be great. They're going to be passing a ton, trailing from behind likely. I think Mingo could have a lot of games where he's putting up big, receptions and yardage numbers. And at plus 5,000, I think there's value there for him to be finished with one of the best or the best, rookie wide receiver stat lines.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think Addison is I'm surprised that the odds aren't better for him, how chalky he kind of technically is, which kind of always makes me a little nervous that seeing him at plus 1,700. And then you're like, well, KJ Osborne's there, TJ Hawkinson's there. What if Addison struggles with the playbook? What if Kirk Cousins sucks at football? So, yeah, I mean, I could see that. I mean, I could definitely see the bet. The bet makes sense. The odds don't, but the bet makes tremendous sense.
Mm-hmm. What about you? What do you like for offensive rookie of the year?
So my favorite, who I think could win this is Bryce Young. You were just talking about the Carolina Panthers and what they've got going on. You look at him and he's, they're not going to start Andy Dalton. They didn't trade up for this pick, in order to start Andy Dalton and put Bryce Young on the bench. So, as long as he's not terrible this year, he's probably going to have, the best rookie numbers of any quarterback. Obviously Stroud, maybe Anthony Richardson does a little something there, but I'll throw to Bryce Young at plus 500. And then for my long shot here, I'll go Rashee Rice at plus 3,500. Until they show me that the Chiefs are signing DeAndre Hopkins, I think Rashee Rice has a very, very strong possibility of becoming the number one in this receiving core. So
love that. Yeah, draft night. I threw out. I think it was as soon as he was drafted, I threw out on our draft live stream that we were doing on Bettor Sports Network that Rice. Look at Rice's rookie of the year odds, and it's shortened since then. But as soon as he was drafted, I was like, well, there's an opportunity for him in KC just to have a big stat year. So I like that call. All right, shifting gears to the defensive side of things. Let's look at defensive player of the year. Pretty wide open. There's a lot of ways you could go with this too. I'm going to throw out Myles Garrett as my favorite at plus 750. He's another guy, kind of like Christian McCaffrey. I'm surprised he hasn't won Defensive Player of the Year, just because I guess like Aaron Donald's been around, the Bosa's, TJ Watt won it. But it's Garrett's been finishing, it seems like in the top 5 of this voting for a lot of the years recently. So I think this is a year he could just put another big statistical season together. He had 16 sacks last year, which just trailed Nick Bosa for the league lead. I think he could have another strong year with Cleveland here. 5 consecutive double-digit sack seasons, by the way, coming into this season. So he's just been really consistent, avoided, big injuries too. So I think Garrett's right on the cusp of winning this award at plus 750. And then it looks like we are lockstep here with Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, look at that. Did you do research for this one?
We finally agreed on something on this show. I did a little bit of research for this one, but yeah, I mean, plus 2,500. I just really like the value for him.
Yeah, me too.
Coming into his second season of like just taking a step forward on he had 9.5 sacks last year. I think there's a good chance he is among the league leaders or in the top 1 or 2 of leading the league in sacks this year, especially if that Lions defense, just another unit that takes a step forward as well. If the Lions are the NFC North leading team that they're projected to be, there's a good chance Hutchinson's getting a lot of hype late in the season as the DPOY.
Yeah, I love him. I think he's incredibly talented. I think he's a fantastic pass rusher. I think he's incredibly disruptive. I like the fact that he can fall back into coverage too. Like that is not something that you often get from a guy his size. So yeah, I love Aiden Hutchinson. I didn't even do like a better odds guy. I'm like, boom, I'm in on Hutchinson, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean it's 2,500 for a good odds there. I like that. All right, let's go to our rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year for the 2023 season. Who are your top picks for this one then?
I'm torn in this one here. I am actually. I was on the Fantasy Alarm Show on Thursday, and I was talking about this. Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith are two guys who I think are absolutely fantastic, and the fact that so much attention is going to be on Carter, that there's not going to be enough room, enough attention for Nolan Smith. And I think that helps put like that chip on Nolan Smith's shoulder. It also helps him, kind of, breathe easily in this. So I think Jalen Carter is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal on the defensive line. But if everybody's focused over in that area, then I think that frees up Nolan Smith to do that much more. So yeah, I'll double tap you, Eagles.
I can get behind that.
Of course you can.
I could like that. I'll go with Will Anderson is my favorite at plus 350. Just thinking that he was the best defensive player coming in the draft, and I think it's going to translate right over the NFL and just kind of be, a do-it-all playmaker from the edge or from the linebacking core for Houston, especially because I don't know another team. I don't think Houston's going to be great. I think Anderson's going to have a ton of opportunities to rack up, tackles, sacks, passes defended. He's great in coverage as well. So I like him at plus 350, even though he is the betting favorite. I still like that. And then just taking a long shot value on Lucas Van Ness, the defensive end from Iowa, going to the Packers this year. The Packers are another team. I think they're just going to look for Van Ness to kind of prove himself, and be, one of the building blocks for the next season and years to come. They're just going to see what he has here. There's some competition on the edge for Green Bay, but I think Van Ness is going to get enough time where I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of explodes for, possibly double-digit sack season. A guy that's just going to look overlooked a little bit in the draft and in the NFL circles, but I think at plus 1,500, he's worth a shot. By the way, we got Colby Conway chiming in on the chat here. He's a fan of my Will Anderson Jr. pick as a Texans fan, but he does say Houston not going to be great. Shut your mouth, Dan.
Houston is not going to be great.
I mean, just trying to be, respectful from a betting angle. Just,
I think you're okay. Colby, have a drink or something. Numb your feelings.
Enjoy the home run derby.
Enjoy the home run derby tonight. That's going to be a blast.
We got our producer, by the way, Adam Bernard. Appreciate all the work he's been doing today and every show. He says, give me Jack Campbell at plus 1,400 for defensive rookie of the year. He's another guy. He could just rack up tackles from that linebacker spot. I like Campbell. Yeah, and he by the way, Adam, you liked Quentin Johnston at plus 2,000 for your offensive rookie of the year.
I mean, we know that the Chargers receivers tend to get hurt, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, and even if they both stay healthy, he's going to be the top two options, so he's probably going to get the third best corner from the defense. So I think that, and we know they're going to throw the ball a lot with Kellen Moore. I think, and one of those guys is going to get hurt, Williams or Allen. So I like that there. And then on defense, the Lions are everybody's darlings, which means they're going to be on TV more. Campbell's the middle linebacker in that defense. They're going to be in some competitive games, so I think he's going to get a lot of burn on TV, and he's going to get those stats being in the middle, racking up tackles. So that's why I went with those two guys.
Yeah,
that.
Campbell could get easily get like 100 plus solo tackle season this year. I wouldn't be surprised at that. All right, so those are our picks for NFL awards for the 2023 season. And if you watched earlier, you got some MLB Home Run Derby picks and predictions from me and Howard. So some interesting ones there. But either way, enjoy the Home Run Derby tonight and enjoy betting on NFL awards this season. I appreciate everyone tuning in here. We up next here on the Bettor Sports Network, we have the MLB DFS Quick Pitch Live show from John and Pemba and James Grande. I'm assuming they're going to be doing some DFS for the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby. So that'll be exciting. You can tune into that. And then at 8 p.m. Eastern, it's the Pub Trivia Bettor Cast with the Front Yard Fantasy guys, with tonight's theme being Nickelodeon. So that should be interesting. Some pub trivia on Nickelodeon. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern, it's Monday Night Rants with Edward Rouse, as always, on Monday nights. Appreciate everyone tuning in here, Howard. It's been real. We'll have you back on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, I'll be here on Wednesday. Absolutely.
Sweet. Yeah, we got some time off before some baseball games, but I know this week we'll be doing some more futures for multiple sports for NFL. So throw some NBA in there. We'll probably try to bring either Ronas or Fensty on. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern to talk some All-Star game best bets. I know Howard's going to be loving that, watching that, but thankfully he won't be on to put him through the pain of it.
Like, how are you going to sit there and make bets on the All-Star game when everybody gets like one at bat and everybody pitches one inning? Right? It's like a little league game. Everybody's got to get in there. Everybody's got to play. Come on. Ugh.
We'll tune in tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern. See which bets we're rolling with. All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and good luck with all your NFL and MLB bets. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Bettor Sports Betting on the Bettor Sports